looks to me like this yellow high enough. She's right on the nose. This is going to be an extremely flat double. She can actually cross it a little bit and roll away from center as well. Sure doesn't want to roll the inside though. Maybe an inch. I think she's okay there. That's still pretty flat. Shawn, Joyce with you here live from the Saville Shootout in Edmonton. Apologize, we had a little technical difficulty to start off the broadcast. Skips rocks. Come here in the second into play. Kaitlyn was with the steal, one in the first, a 1-0 lead over Serena for the play here in the second. Gray Weather's sitting 2, back of the 8-foot. Kaitlyn just looking to play the hit and try to group the stones where she might have a chance for her double on her last one. Actually wanted to put that just a little bit on the other side of center. It is Laws sitting 1. Serena Gray Withers throwing the red stones here. Chance to make the hit, and she will probably want to come just across the face a little bit, roll a little bit into the 8-foot, not leave any chance for a double, and she should have an opportunity to try to pick up her deuce here. Rush on early. This has started to cross the center line. Has to hold her shooter here. Gonna make the hit. It's a little on the thin side though, and the shooter will roll out of the rings. Now a chance for Kaitlyn Laws to make a play on shot stone, and really the discussion here is where do you want to roll this? There might be some concern if she's right on the nose. There could be a double for the blank. Now, the question would be, does Serena Gray Withers even play that? Because attempting it, probably the choices are you either get the blank or it's a steal one. You roll a little bit broomside, and the only double that would be there would leave the shooter right there, so she's forced. I think there's a pretty good chance you might see Serena Gray Withers play the draw no matter what. Does make the hit, stays right there. She is looking at the double for the blank. I mean, you hit half a rock on the center line side, the 2 yellows go, and your shooter should roll out. The problem would be if you ever hit a quarter of that stone, you probably only get 1 yellow, and your shooter's still rolling out. Looks like she's got fairly tight ice here, so I think she's opting to play it with the thought that if it over curls, we're still going to get 1. Final stone for Grey Withers here in the second end, trailing by 1, facing 2. Looking for the blank. Nothing out of the brushers yet. Needs to hit about half of this. She's going to hit it very thin, and does just jam it on the other yellow stone. So it's going to be another steal of 1 here for Kaitlyn Laws. They are sneaky thieves early, picking up singles in each the first and second. They've got a 2-0 lead going into the third.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Third end underway. Once again, Kaitlyn Laws looking to bring a stone into the top of the 4-foot. It slides to the back 4. That rock behind the tee line. Chance now for the Grey Withers team to ignore it. Look to play something on the corner. And interesting to see them there switching a rock out. And that might have been... they might have Serena Grey Withers' last stone. Maybe thought it was running a little straight. That might be the one they switched out, although it over-curled on her shot in the first end, a draw. Looking to throw the corner guard here. So now Kaitlyn Laws looking to throw a second stone into the 4-foot area. I'd like to keep this one in front of the tee line. Looking for some extra late curl here. They would have liked to get at least to the center line. Where it is, there could be a chance for the hit and roll behind cover, and you actually might get the double. Like to make the hit and roll, you're going to have to touch both Yellowstones. It's possible the back one jams. This is just part of the same cat and mouse game that you'll see with all these games at the highest level. Team with last rock would like to get the play away from the middle. Team with last rock is going to make you play down the middle as much as they can. Gets it across the nose, not enough to get the roll behind the cover, and it just jams the stone at the back. So it's still Kaitlyn Laws sitting one back 4-foot. Stone was just delivered his second shot. Lindsay Burgess, the second for the Grey Withers team, look to make the hit. Or, pardon me, this is Jocelyn Peterman, second for Kaitlyn Law's team. First game of the year for announcers, too. Makes the hit, stays right there. It makes it a little bit of a shorter roll to get behind cover now. This time she's going to have to make the double to be sitting shot rock, but even if she jammed it, as long as she rolls behind cover, in pretty good shape. This is the home club for the Grey Withers team, and when we're having some technical issues earlier, I was mentioning, so I don't know if you heard me or not, this is the second event for this team. They actually played in the Next Gen U25 Classic last weekend, lost the semi-final, and that was held right here in this club, which is their home club as well, so you would think they should have a pretty good handle on the ice, be comfortable here. Makes the hit, she'll make the double. It's a little bit of a roll towards the guard, but still completely open. We did see the Laws team playing some hits in this area, the same turn in the first end, and a couple of them didn't want to move up too much for them. So this is a delicate area. She doesn't want to roll out. It would give them a chance to come in behind. Make the hit. This one ran a little straight on them as well. Rolls all the way to the other side. Does stay full 8 foot. Thought Serena Grey Withers might have to make a bit of a decision here. She didn't take too long to think about that. She's going to try the come around. If you're dead buried, you're probably not shot rock, but I don't know what Kaitlyn Laws does with it if you're dead buried. The only thing is, there's good movement Saville Center all the way across all the sheets. It has been a little bit more gradual towards this corner. That means she's going to have to get real tight by the guard if she's going to bury it. She's got a lot of room coming by. Well, she is shot rock full 8 foot, but looks to be probably 3/4 open. You never know what all the teams are using for weights, especially early in the season, but the one thing you pretty much know is universal. When somebody taps their hip like that, they're looking for what they call bumper weight. Selena Negevin with her first stone here in the third end. Making the play on shot rock, and they'd like to hold the shooter as well. Sweeping for curl. Makes the hit, and because of that quiet weight, able to hang her shooter on at the back of the 12 foot. She's sitting 2. Might see Serena Grey Withers make a play on those 2 yellows just to try to keep the chance for a blank alive, but she's going to play aggressively here, try to make that come around. Catherine Clifford with her first stone here in the third end. This is going to have a little bit better line coming by the guard. Now, does it have enough legs to get to the tee line and bury? Boy, even that zone, it was tighter by the guard. I thought you'd see it dead bury. There's still a piece available. Kaitlyn Laws had to look a couple of times, but she does indicate that they still have shot rock on the other side of the 8 foot. it is very difficult to go after that little piece of the red with how straight they've seen the hits going there on the inside out. This is a tough one for a thrower, especially a thrower on a team like Kaitlyn Laws that plays so much on slam ice, where the movement is probably a little bit bigger than it is here on the Saville ice this morning. And a shot like this looks pretty makeable, but it's a delicate shot on this ice right now. And already sweeping on the offside, trying to get some curl. He's going to have a piece. Boy, that's a nice shot. Enough to get it out of play, and hangs another Yellowstone in the back of the 12-foot. This now might be a case of there's getting to be too many stones piling up there, and it's too hard to get around that corner. She looked at, I think, hitting it. This might be a suggestion that came from the other end, just from the way that Serena gestured there. This might be a thought from the other end, that if we can get some kind of a freeze, even if she bumps it back, isn't bad here. They are on the brush early. This got across center awfully quick. Has to stay on the center line side to be shot rock. And with the extra brushing trying to hold the line, it's actually through the back. I don't know whether she got that one started or if they just started a little past the center line and it got going on them quick, but either way, an opportunity now for Kaitlyn Laws to try to sit fourth one in there. You just don't want to give her the chance to play the same shot where she could be shot rock if she makes it and still have a chance to get her deuce. So they're trying to bring this stone into the top 4-foot area, where even if she made that freeze, Laws could still be sitting one and wouldn't necessarily have to blast it out. Last little discussion with the brushers. Kaitlyn Laws with her first stone here. Third end already leading by 2. A chance to sit 4 here. Keep some pressure on. With like a bite of the 4-foot, they jumped this right out of her hand. Boy, you do not want to come up short here. And that's exactly what's happened. It gives Serena Grey Withers a chance, and you know you're forced to score here. This is probably your best chance to get 2, is to come around that stone. You can bury and be shot rock, whereas the only other guard she had, that one of her own on the corner, she buried behind it. She wouldn't even be shot. So this is an opening for the Grey Withers team. If they can pick up their deuce here, they could put the first 2 ends behind them, and we'd be all tied up. Had a chance to get a single in the first end. She had a similar draw. She was coming towards the center line with her final stone, and it actually over-curled on them and touched the stone in the top 4-foot. And really, I think the line surprised them on that one, because They weren't too worried about it all the way down. She had nice weight. Very similar path to this one. It was ending up on the center line. This one's going to have to cross it a little bit. She's tightened up the broom. She'd love to see this one finish the same way her first one did, or her last one did in the first end. She had a good finish on that stone. Caught them by surprise. This has got a ton of room by the guard. There's that big late finish. Swooping it to help it a little bit. She'll get a piece in behind. And you know, a piece might be enough because there's those two yellow stones at the back of the 12-foot. If Kaitlyn Laws was to hit what she can see, it would be close to jamming on those two stones. So she's going to have to bring the weight down and try to get some finish as she comes by the guard and get a little closer to the nose. And this is a shot with this weight down this path that I don't think we've seen yet in this game. They've played a lot of hits at stones that were off the center line, and they've played them from the inside out, so there hasn't been a lot of outside in hits thrown on either side of the sheet. Kaitlyn Laws with her final stone here in the third end. Rush down early, trying to hold the line. This is curling on her. Once she's by the guard, boy, still going hard on her. Maybe not enough weight to get it out. Now, got caught a little bit on the weight there, but might have been fortunate because where it stopped, for Serena Gray Withers to play the double, I think the top yellow stone is coming right into that red. Which means the attempt of the double is still only for a single point, and you'd have to stick your shooter right there. Boy, if you ever hit this on the outside and roll away, it could be a steal of three. She's had good draw weight, and she just threw it. I'd be tempted to throw the draw. You always have to defer to the players on the ice because the overhead cameras can sometimes fool you a little bit. But to me, it looks like if she nose hits that, the yellow is coming onto the red. She maybe thinks it might go across the top. And if it goes across the top, doesn't touch that red stone, then this is a shot for two. She's going to give it a go. Chance to tie things up here. As long as she hits it on the nose, she should be good for a single. Indication from the brushers this might get a little bit more weight than what they called, but they've still jumped on it, so maybe the line getting tight early. She actually crossed it a bit, makes the hit. Her shooter will roll out. And the yellow did make contact with the two reds, but it looks like it will be a single point for Serena Gray Withers. She closes to within 2-1. It will be Kaitlyn Laws with last rock for the first time when we come back in the fourth.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Opening draw here from the Saville Shootout. Curling Stadium, Edmonton. Kaitlyn Laws with a 2-1 lead over Serena Gray Withers as we begin play here in the fourth end. And Laws with the hammer for the first time in the game. Gray Withers calling for the center guard. Zoe Cinnamon having an excellent game actually at Leadstone. You don't talk about the leads enough. But Serena Gray Withers has put every stone where it's been asked for so far in this game, 100%. That guard touching the center line, it's not just the free guard zone, the no tick in play as well. Touching that stone off the center line, that's a violation of the no-tick rule. Stone goes back and the shooter removed from play. Chance for Zoe Cinnamon now to play the come around. Made the good guard on her first one. Chance to come around it with her second, set up the end for her team. I was just about to say this is why the leads get paid the big bucks, but the leads don't get paid the big bucks, so. And then as I maybe jinxed her, she comes to the back of the 12-foot. That's the closest thing she's had to a miss in the whole game. It is a little deep. Gives Kristen McCusker a chance to get one around the guard in front of the tee line. And this has been something that we've seen the entire game, and it goes right back to probably the practice session before the game, when each team would have used one side of the sheet, and when they're playing the draws around the center line side, both teams have stayed on the same side of the sheet, probably the side that they threw in practice. And I will admit I wasn't paying enough attention to the practice to be sure of that, but this side, so the out turn going home, it's the in turn going away, has been the side that the Gray Withers team has favored with their draws to the middle. And the Laws team favoring that other side. You can get there with both turns. Lindsay Burgess with her first stone here in the fourth end. Really nice line. They're just hoping it stops in front of the tee line. It will. Half in the button. Boy, that is dead buried. That was the fifth stone at the end, though. So they can start making plays on the guards now. indication from Skip Kaitlyn Laws. They're going to look to straight peel this. Jocelyn Peterman. Serena Gray Withers will ask Lindsay Burgess to replace the guard. Still got a lot of line. Has to curl up. She'll cut a piece of that stone, but leaves it partly exposed. Enough for Jocelyn to make a play on it. Boy, there might have been just a little backwards motion on the release. This is going to have to curl. Boy, good brushing to get the little bit extra curl. Catches enough of it to remove it from play, and that quiet weight holds the shooter. Slaw's sitting 2 with the last rock here as we play in the 4th. Catherine Clifford being asked to make the hit and roll towards that stone. Don't think he can make the double. I think it jams on the back red, but he might not even mind breaking those 2 up if he could. This is going to hit right on the nose, though. I do think it's the Law stone at the back of the 8-foot that's shot rock. She's going to make a play on the second shot stone. Try to stay right there. Just like that. Be awfully thin to try to roll into those 2 at the back now, so just playing the hit and roll in front of them, behind cover. Makes the hit, it's going to get a roll towards those stones in the middle, but stays fully out in the open, not directly in front of the back ones. Still, it changes the shot for Kaitlyn Law. She's going to have to try to roll under cover. If she gets it right on the nose, it'll leave a fairly easy roll for the Grey Withers team. You roll past the guard and way out into the 8-foot, you might leave a double opportunity. You make the perfect roll and you might see Grey Withers play the freeze. Selena Negavan with the outturn, or pardon me, the in-turn hit. Nothing out of the brushers. He's going to get up to the nose. Rolls a couple of inches, but still out in the open. Enough room for Serena Gray-Withers to make a pass at it and try to get under cover. Needs this to get out of some trouble here in the fourth end. Of course, the danger to a shot like this, if she ever stayed on the outside just a little bit, she could jam it on the two in the back. Both yellows would stay and her shooter would be wide open. Kaitlyn Lawes could have a chance to sit three, so she's got to get at least to the nose. She'd like to cross it a little bit, get under cover with the roll. They're already sweeping for curl. She's going to be on the outside. She actually might be far enough on the outside to drive it by the two at the back. No, it will catch it. And does leave it in the rings. That could not have worked out much worse for Serena Gray-Withers because she's rolled far enough away from the center guard that now Kaitlyn Lawes can just hit, stay right there. It'll be shot rock and a difficult choice for Serena on her last stone. Her best chance to get out of jail here might be to play the come around to the top of the forefoot and be dead buried. But boy, if you're ever not dead buried, you could be giving up four here. First things first. Kaitlyn Lawes with her first stone here in the fourth end needs to hit, stay right there. Early indication is they need some curl here, so they've switched the brush. She's going to get about 3/4, so roll a little bit towards the center line. Probably enough that I think you'll see the hit and roll attempt. Still, the unfortunate thing for Serena is there's not really a plan B on it, or even looking at the double. To make the double, you're losing the shooter and you're giving up two anyway. This is not an easy double. One where half a rock probably makes it, but a quarter probably dead jams it. And either way, you're losing the shooter, so you definitely want to make two fly here if you can. Facing three, looking for the double to try to get out of a little bit of trouble here. She's close. Oh, maybe a little too thick. Drives it by the stone at the back of the 8. The shooter will roll out of play, and it's an opportunity for Kaitlyn Lawes. First time she's had the hammer in the game, and she knows she's got two, a chance to draw for 3, and this would really open up a gap in this game. See behind Kaitlyn on the scoreboard, those two single points she scored, the first and second, both came on steals. Now the final stone here in the fourth, already sitting 2, just needs any piece of the rings to pick up a third point, open up a 5-1 lead after 4 ends of play. Rusher's just cleaning it. Plenty of room by the guard. Kaitlyn Laws needing any piece of the rings. We'll put it on the corner of the button. She picks up a big 3 points here in the fourth end of play. She opens up a 5-1 lead. It'll be Serena Gray Withers with Last Rock in the fifth.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Fourth.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
Fourth end break here, still underway. Shawn, Joyce with you here live from the Saville Shootout. Men's and women's action both on tap this weekend. It's the women draw 1 here this morning. The men will be on the ice in a couple hours' time. You'll have all the action available all weekend long here on the Curling Stadium, Edmonton. One thing to watch for, and on the draw times on the event page, it shows the next draw, the men's draw, as I believe it's 11 a.m. local time. Just about 9:40 here now. But I do believe they're using staggered start times here at the Saville Shootout. So you'll see some of the games will start at 11, some of them start at 12:30. That's been an innovation that you've seen at a number of events in recent years. And it works great for a couple of things, really. For the fans in attendance in the building, because when every game starts at the same time, they tend to end at the same time. The ice makers have to prep the ice for the next draw, and so you end up with a gap of time when there's no games going on. They're just waiting to get ready for the next one. So by doing half and half, it's good for the fans. It's also good for those ice makers that I just mentioned because they don't have to try to do every sheet at the same time. They're doing half and half. The only potential little problem it can create is if you're looking for your favorite team at 11 o'clock, they might not start till 12:30. But it does work good for the people in attendance at the event. Boy, if you get the opportunity, there's nothing like watching an event live in the building. You can see all the sheets, you can hear all the action. We do the best that we can here on Curling Stadium and other broadcast teams to give you as much of that experience as you can, but it's never the same as being in the building and live. About to return to action here in the fifth end of play. Kaitlyn Laws with a big score of 3 as we went into the break has a 4-point lead as we begin play here in the fifth. So asking Kristen McCusker to bring this first stone into the top of the forefoot. A little light, but it does get full 12, just a bite of the 8. So we Cinnamon being asked to throw the corner guard. This is interesting because I think this might be Zoe's first intern. And she's thrown corner guards going this direction before. They've always opted for the out turn. They did have a chance to play this turn a couple times in the third end and actually over curled on a freeze attempt. So they may feel that there's better curl on this corner. Kaitlyn Laws wants to see a rock in the forefoot. The easiest way to get there now is to play the little tap on the stone that was just delivered. She'd like to keep them pretty much dead in line. Line's coming nicely. Make the tap, pretty much straight back, and gets it full 8 foot. Sits 2. It's always interesting to see how teams approach this when they get to the point in the game when they need to throw 2 corner guards. You'll see some teams, the old traditional way is you'll split the house, play one on either side. Something you've seen a lot more in recent years, especially with the big curl and some of the surfaces they play in, is to play the 2 guards in line, one long and one tight on the corners. This is a little different yet. She's going to play a second guard on the same side, but try to leave them offset so she's got a double wide guard. And on ice like this, with the conditions that we're seeing here today, I like that call, actually. It's a little easier to get around a double wide guard. She can come tight by the one, and even if she pokes out in the open, she's protected by the wider guard. The only downside to that play is that when Kaitlyn Laws is able to start playing peels, that she can't yet, this is still just the 5th rock at the end, the double peel's a little easier. Jocelyn Peterman with her first stone, though, will look to play a guard on 2 in the center line area. And they want this guard fairly tight, but the point to it is to force Serena Grey Withers to try to deal with these stones in the middle. And while she's doing that, you may have the opportunity to go up and peel the corners. Might be an opportunity here. If she hits this just right, she'd get all 3 yellows and roll her shooter to be a third corner guard on that same side. Definitely wants to hold the shooter here, even if she only kills 2. She's going to get all 3 of them moving. Actually, that might be one of the best possible results. She leaves another, albeit a tight corner guard. It is just a corner, and actually it's in a spot where it could make any appeals difficult. You tried the double peel on the reds. It's coming awful close to that yellow stone. Could spill into the rings. That's what Kaitlyn's looking at right now. Really hard to make either double peel. That one could come into the yellow. If you tried the one straight back, you're leaving the shooter. Try straight back over the top, it could come into the yellow. So they've opted to play the high one. And you saw Kaitlyn Laws lining it up. She's got an idea there where they can afford to hit it without jamming on that one in the side. Makes contact. It does go over the top of that one on the side, and the top stone will spill all the way out of the play. It just touches the divider. So just the 2 guards left in play, both very tight to the rings. Again, lots of room by the guard. Big finish after it touches the center line, so she does get probably a third behind cover. But leaves enough that Negavan can make a play at it, although they're looking at whether or not it might be just safer to play the guard. Might be able to come in off their own. This might be scoreboard dictated. With a 4-point lead, you don't mind giving up 2. You sure would hate to give up 3, let them right back into it. Looking to come across and hit her own. Nudges it into the rings and loses the shooter. That's perfect. Catherine Clifford will look to guard shot stone now. You can play one guard here for sure, and on the assumption that Kaitlyn Laws will just peel the guard. After that, I don't know if you dare throw a second one. Because the stone you're guarding is just behind the tee line. And at some point in time, Kaitlyn Laws will just look to come around and freeze on it. You might be looking at another steal. Didn't think she'd do it this early, and she didn't even think about it. Going to play the peel. Now you can play the guard one more time, or you come in. You play the guard. You're trying actually to tempt Kaitlyn Laws to make the freeze, but if she makes it, you're in all kinds of trouble. She may not play it. She may play the peel anyway. Had that last guard in a really good spot. Would like to put it exactly back in the same place. Maybe doesn't have quite the same weight. They're going to have to go drag this as far as they can so it has enough time to curl. Well, she's left a piece from the outside. She's also left a lot of gap. Kaitlyn Laws not even going to be tempted though. She's just simply going to peel the guard. And Serena Greyweathers will have to come in their next one and try not to leave a double. On the brush early, wants to peel this out and roll the shooter all the way out of play. Doesn't want to leave Serena anywhere to hide. So she's going to opt for, it looks like the out-turn draw towards that yellow stone. She's got a couple of ways that can work out very well for her. If she just corners the yellow one, as long as she's second shot, there wouldn't be a double available. She gets them dead even. Dead even meaning her two stones, the one in the back of the forefoot as well as this shooter. Shouldn't be a double then either. She has had, for the most part, pretty good draw weight. They've had a little bit of trouble with her line. It's not as big of an issue on this shot. I do think they might have switched out of her stones in the third end. Plenty of room by the yellow stone, so just wants these even if she can. This might slide a little too deep. Boy, I think that's deep enough. There might be a chance to double. You know, Kaitlyn Laws can throw it, and because it's so thick on the first one, it's worth giving it a go. I mean, if you just hit in the nose, it's going to be a fairly routine deuce. It's fairly thick to go after the double, even if you just roll over towards it. I think she's left enough angle she can get over again. Keep in mind, she doesn't have to get the second one all the way out. She just needs to push it. Any piece of it out of the 12-foot, she'd be sitting two. Already leading by 4. A chance to take away any chance for 2 here. Looking for the double. A little bit of an arm extension with the big weight. This is going to have to curl. She's got the first one. It'll come across, but just behind that second stone. Just gets the one then. And mission accomplished for Serena Gray Withers. She's got a chance to draw for 2. And opting to throw the same shot, just to give the brushers, as much as anything else, the same path to look at. Gave up steals in the first and second. She knows she's got 1 here in the 5th and a chance to put her first crooked number on the board. And right out of her hand, everybody indicating this has got more weight. Cleaning it a little as it comes across the hog line. Follows her first stone down nicely, sits 2 in the 8-foot. Closes the gap a little bit, but it's still Kaitlyn Laws with a 5-3 lead after 5 ends of play, and Laws will have last rock in the 6th.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss. But it just takes 1. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Sixth end about to get underway here. Obviously, those of you watching this morning have found us on Curling Stadium. If you know anybody might be interested in watching some of this excellent curling this weekend and they don't know how to find us, there's a few different ways to do it. You can go directly to Curling Stadium's YouTube channel. You'll find all of the games being streamed, not commentary available in all of them, but all of the games will be streamed. The other way is go directly to Curling Zone's website, where you find the line scores. There will always be that little white arrow on the red background, the YouTube logo, and that will link you directly to the games that you want to watch as well. See the center guard thrown up to begin this end. Kaitlyn Laws with a 2-point lead, knowing that if she goes to the corner, Gray Withers is going to ignore that. She's going to try to come around the center for now and take the guard away that way. This has got a lot of room, though. She'll get a bite of the forefoot, but it does stay fully out in the open. Will force Zoe Cinnamon to play the other turn. not playing the come around. They're going to throw the second guard, and that's a lot of ice for a guard. She's got to get back to center here. They're kind of caught in between, do you or don't you? If you sweep this to get it back to the center line, you're going to leave the two guards pretty tight together. It is in the no-tick zone, though. Did touch the center line. So nothing that Kaitlyn Laws can do about it on this stone. All that they're looking at now is they don't want to put a stone in a spot where it would be in the way for the double peel that they can play on the next one, and that's what she was indicating. It looked like the call was to try to put this top 8 foot pretty much in line with the stone they've already got in there. They don't want to dead bury this because when they play the double peel, the second one's coming pretty much straight back. Comes down to her first stone, nudges it back a little bit into the full 4. And this is that situation, and this is why I thought it might have been Greyweather's stone that they switched out. They've got one stone that, for whatever reason, they want to throw it in particular situations, it looks like. Not sure whose stone it was. Serena in the first end had a stone over curl on her. The same stone, or at least it was her final stone in both cases. It under curled in the second end, so I don't know whether it was her 8, but it might be a different stone. But that's the second time I've seen them switch out a stone on the thrower. Well, if they were trying to switch to the curling stone, that might be what they did. It comes across nicely, nudges that stone back. You've got a yellow pocket there, and the shooter is in behind cover. It is Laws sitting 2 for now. She's going to want to deal with the guards, and you can see she's concerned about where that second one is going. Probably a chance you could get all 3 reds here. There's also a chance you could jam the red into the 2 yellows. And just across the top of the second one, so we won't find out how it was going to come off the ones in the back. The call for now looks to be to throw the high guard. They want to keep these 2 guards a little bit more separated than they just were, and a little more dead in line. This looks like it's got better line. Boy, nicely done. It's so hard to throw those long guards, and as much as you see it more commonly nowadays, it's still a shot that you see the lead throw more often than the second. By getting those guards so well lined up, double wasn't really an option, so they just play the long one. I noticed Serena Greyweather's looking over her shoulder. There's always a question of the timing here. She's still facing 2. She'd like to set up a steal here, so at some point in time she's going to have to make a play on those 2 stones, those 2 yellow stones that are open in the 4 foot. She's opting to throw the long guard here, but I wonder if she's going to throw one more because I saw her look over her shoulder. You know, as an old skip myself, that's usually when you're counting the rocks to try to decide at what point in the end do I make my move. You make it too early, you give Kaitlyn Laws too many chances to get out of it. You make it too late, and it could still be 2 going on the board. These guards a little tighter together. There might be a chance for the double now. The lineup's still good. It's still not easy to get the double and roll away. And there's still a little bit of risk of jamming it onto something in the house. So not a bad spot for the guard, just not quite as good as the last one. This is curled early. Well, you don't want to double jam them. Kinda did. Staggered the top 2, but jammed it on the yellow and the side of the 4-foot. Now the saving grace for Kaitlyn Laws, you're still sitting 1. Serena Gray Withers is going to have to deal with it at some point in time, and that might be now. The question is, do you come off your own? That was her first thought. Catherine Clifford has made her way down to take a look at it. The other possibility is you come down, draw to your own, try to tap it up. That's what she's looking at. She's not looking at a straight tap either. I think she's looking at tapping just ever so slightly on an angle. So you'll tap to corner freeze and then leave your shooter partially exposed where you can make a play on it on the next one on the shot stone. And really, it would be hard for Kaitlyn Laws to make a play on any of the stones in the rings. Everything on the right side as we look at it would be guarded. That's the stone you're going to tap up. The one that the shooter, as it rolls over, might not leave enough room on either of the reds to make a play on them. It's probably the best result. It's not an easy shot. But, you know, some would argue you're down 2 without as you play here in the 6th end, and maybe that means you don't get to play easy shots. Still just a draw. She needs about back 4-foot weight out of her hand, and then it'll all be about the line. And you see them switch to the offside sweep, trying to get the curl. You know what move's coming into the house? She might be a little strong on this. Probably just a little bit more weight than what they had in mind. If she gets to what she was trying to hit, it would have tapped it too far. Kaitlyn Laws looking at the double. Problem is that'll leave the freeze on the one in the middle. Selena Negavan making her way down. She could opt to hit it right on the nose. Now they're looking at just hit and roll slightly in front of the red, sit 2 that way. That indication there might be the peel the guard. She could play the hit and roll towards the yellow. If she sits right on top of it, I think she's always scoring. The problem is if you roll just past it and leave a pocket, not a great result. Nose hit on the second shot stone's probably not horrible. A double would be awfully thin. They'd have to jam it, likely. Likely playing the freeze. If she makes that, you can come off of it. Law's already leading by 2 as we play here in the 6th inch. She does have last rock. And really, all of this, it's not about scoring 2 at this point in time. You just want to make sure you're going to have a shot to score. Kind of throwing this shot knowing that no matter what you make here, Serena Gray Withers is going to have an opportunity with her next one to put some pressure on you. Mind you, you want to make her make a good shot. Boy, this is really curling on them. Makes it, comes across, nudges her own stone. And does sit 2. Now the shot stone, top half of the button, freeze to it. Looks like a freeze would be second shot. Ideally, you'd like to get at least to the nose and bump it back, but that's the tough thing. You just saw it with Catherine Clifford. She had bump weight, perhaps just a little bit more weight than they had intended, and didn't get the line they were looking for. This is a very delicate shot. She's going to need, if she wants to tap it back far enough to put the yellows in a pocket, she probably needs just back 8 out of her hand. And then you have to get the finish. You've got to get to the nose. If you tap yellow onto yellow at the back, you're still going to leave them sitting 2, and your shooter rolls open. Big shot here for Serena Gray Withers. Her first stone in the 6th. They jumped the sweep right out of her hand. By the guard. Now they're sweeping the offside to try to get some curl. Not going to get up to the nose. Taps one yellow onto the second one. Leaves Laws sitting 1st and 3rd, I believe. The shooter did stay a piece under cover, so it's tough for Kaitlyn Laws to remove it, and dangerous to leave it there. She's going to come down with quiet weight, try to just pass it by the 2 yellows at the back. If she can do that, she'll be sitting 3. I'm not sure how Serena Gray Withers even gets in there. She might have to play the Hail Mary long run-in on the red guard, only because she can't afford to give up another 2. Final stone, or pardon me, first stone here for Kaitlyn Laws. She's got last rock here in the 6th with a 2-point lead. This has got a lot of room yet. Starting to curl now. Needs to get to the nose. Will now. It's a question of how much weight does she have, and enough to push it to the back 12. And she does sit 3. And Serena Gray Withers is in all kinds of trouble. Looking at coming off of her own, that's tough. Really tough to get shot rock. She might be able to get to the back of the 4-foot, get second with it. Even if she comes into the side of that yellow stone, it's really tough not to scoot back off the back end of that yellow stone and leave the one at the top 4-foot of shot rock. I thought she might have to look at running the guard in. Didn't look at that at all. Don't see a draw available there, really. These are so tough. Certainly she could throw the weight to do it, but one of the things that we've seen so far here this morning is when you up that weight, they will run very straight. She needs to get a little bit to the inside, and of course she's throwing the in turn here. It looks like that's what she's throwing with the way the broom's put down. She's throwing the in turn to get the flatter roll, but with the in turn, you won't get the gear effect here, so it won't come off the stone quite the same as it could with the out turn. She's close. Makes the hit, comes across, but it does come to the back end of that yellow stone and scoots back. So Kaitlyn Law's sitting one right now. Looking to see if there might be any way to play for more than two, and I don't think there is. Certainly not anything there that you'd want to play with this kind of a lead. 2 points is plenty here. That redstone at the back of the forward probably stopped in time that it'd be tough to even try to play a split for three here. You're playing with such a small amount of ice when you're splitting a rock into the 4 foot. Straight tap. Kaitlyn Laws with steals of 1 in the first and second. Only other time with the hammer, 4th inch, she picked up 3. A chance here in the 6th to pick up another 2 and restore the 4-point lead. Needs to tap her own stone up. Line looks pretty good coming in. It's all a question of the weight. And it will stop on the button, nudges her own stone, but put 2 more points on the board for Kaitlyn Laws, and she's got a 7-3 lead after 6 ends of play.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Seven to 3 for Kaitlyn Laws as we begin play here in the 7th end. Laws team throwing the yellow stones. We'll ask for this first stone into the top of the 4 foot. Ray Withers will be looking for corner guards here. She needs to, at the very least, score 2 here. And she'll probably pull out all the stops to try to go for 3. Had a chance in between ends here myself to take a little peek at the online chat. We thank all of those of you who are watching this morning. did see a couple of comments about the scoreboards, and the scoreboard in use here at the Saville Center. They use, the way I was taught to phrase it, these are the baseball style scoreboards. The one thing that you see that's a little different here so far this morning is they don't have the zeros to go up on the other side. So it's not like a traditional curling scoreboard. It is the baseball style, but they haven't put up the zeros on the other side, which is what you normally see, and you'll see that on the line scores on curlingzone.com. Is that it's not just the 2 points on one side, it's usually that zero on the other side, and they haven't put the totals up at the end of the scoreboard as well, and that might just be that the players don't have enough numbers available. So we'll just have to add them up manually, and boy, if they keep putting this amount of points on the board, that could get tough. So the corner guard thrown up there now. This is in the free guard zone, but it's not in the no-tick zone. And this is a shot that you've seen a lot more in recent years, and it became popular because of mixed double play. You see this in doubles a lot. During the power play, when you throw that corner guard, they'll try to push it into the rings, lose the shooter, and now you have a rock you can hit on the next one, but a little too much weight on this one removes it from play. Cannot do that. It is a free guard still, so it goes back. Saw this from Serena Greyweather's 2 ends ago as well. Playing the second guard, same side as the first, but not dead lined up. She wants a double wide guard, basically. She played them on the same side in the fifth end as well. Maybe that she feels there's better curl on this side too, so asking Zoe Cinnamon to play one of her few interns in this game. She's played primarily the out. She used to like this spot on the odd end. Pretty much right where she tapped the ice. Got enough separation between those two guards that as much as there's an angle, it's still going to be a tough double peel and can't be played yet. No point to playing that tick in from the side on this stone. You know you can play hits on the next one anyway. So they'll look to bring another stone into the top of the house. Center line area. You'll nudge your own shot stone into the top of the forefoot. Kaitlyn Law sitting 2 for the time being. Serena Greyweather's pretty much scoreboard dictated now that she's got to try to use every rock in play rather than play the hit here. She's just going to look to move these back. She's got a few ways this can work out well for her. Tap it straight back or get to the inside and just move the one yellow stone back. If she happened to stay on the outside, she could move both yellows, maybe get them both behind the tee line. Pressure indicating there's a lot of weight, but they were on this for line early. I think that might have been plan B. They were hoping it would get by that stone and get right to shot rock. It touches both of them, and she does stay buried. That's the benefit of the double wide guard. It is second shot. So looking for the peel across the top of the stone that was just delivered. Maybe get 2 reds going. She's actually going to get it the other way. gets the 2 reds, but by doing it that way does leave her shooter on the center line. Another guard that Serena can work with. Call here is for the same shot, just looking to tap that yellow back. The last stone over curled just a little bit. They got the line they were looking for this time. Maybe a little bit more weight. Well, it's sitting 2 right now. I'm thinking she's probably going to run the yellow guard into that red. It would be hard to hit that the way that you jam it. You have to be really thin on the first one. She'd love to spill them both and roll the shooter out, but even if she just dead jams this, it brings all the play into the rings. Well, catches the one at the back. That's the only rock that was behind the tee line. That probably helps Kaitlyn Laws. It's Laws sitting 2, just 1 corner guard left now. This is where you got to do the math, and if you're going to try to score 3 here, I think you have to come around the corner guard. You play the one in the middle. Kaitlyn Laws is going to try to blast it out. Even if she stuffs it, if you come around the corner in the next one, she's got an open shot. Whereas if you come around the corner here, she peels the corner guard, then you play with the ones in the middle, she hits the open, you've still got a shot at 3. Boy, they had to go for a line. He couldn't afford to over curl that. It's left a little bit of separation. Dangerous to play the hit and roll that way she's just talking about, because you could spill the red in behind the corner guard. You could slash the yellow at the top of the 12-foot into it. The danger then is you possibly lose all 3 and give her a chance to go around the corner. They're really having to think this one over, and it comes down to which shot do you think you can make. Looks like they opted for the slash. On the in-turn for Serena, she's going to just drive it by the red stone, catches the yellow, not enough to kill it, but does remove it from behind the red stone. I think she's left her own stone sitting shot. It's not a horrible result, because now they have an open hit available for the next one. Ray looking at moving that stone, and this is one where I don't know why you're worried about moving that, because Kaitlyn Laws is going to hit that stone. It doesn't matter that you sit 2 now. She's going to kill that stone on the next one anyway. I'd be looking for a corner freeze on the inside. It just has to be ever so slightly on the inside to make sure you're going to be shot rock. Just don't leave a double. Let her hit that one in the middle. You play the freeze again, and you still got a chance for 3. Still got a lot of room, but we know once those cross the line, they will curl hard. There it goes. They lost the line and the weight a little bit, left it up high enough that there is room for the double there. And the other thing for Kaitlyn Laws, if she can make the double and leave her shooter right there, she'll cut off the path to that same freeze. Probably the only way she doesn't roll across it is if, or pardon me, the only way she doesn't block it is if she happens to hit the first one a little thick and rolls across the top of the red. Anything thin here, I think, makes the double and leaves her shooter in a good spot. Well, it's thick enough that it spins up, so there's still a shot there. Yeah, I don't like that idea. First indication, and that was the third, was to just come in and just bury it around the corner guard. The problem is then that Kaitlyn Laws is still sitting one, and you don't really have an easy way to get it out. So playing the same shot, if you freeze to the inside corner, the guard's in a spot where she won't be able to get at it from the outside, which is what she'd need to do to blast it out. Been close with her weight all day. The issue has been the line, and this is a tricky spot for the line. You just saw it on the last one. Rushers were on this most of the way down. Gonna have nice line. Can they get it far enough to be shot rock? No. But it's in a pretty good spot. It's tough for Kaitlyn Laws to make a play on it. It's available for Serena for her last one to try to get 2 that way. Play the tap red onto yellow. So Kaitlyn Laws electing to throw the guard, just to try to take that away. Serena's going to have a decision to make. 1 point probably isn't enough here to keep going. 2 is going to be tough, but where do you play it? Like there's a couple of yellows she can come off of, but to get past her own at the top of the 4 foot and get to that yellow on the side of the 4, she's going to be paper thin on either one of them. The raise might be an option, but it's really long. Kaitlyn Laws leading by 4 here. We play in the 7th, her final stone, sitting 1, looking to guard that red stone that could be used to tap up for 2. Boy, this has got some curling to do, or she might leave a gap. It's long. Is she going to leave enough of a port? Boy, I think it moved just enough at the end to close the port. That's one where you know that Serena Grey-Withers and Catherine Clifford were sitting back there saying, stop, 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 stop. And it just wouldn't. It just kept sliding enough, I think, to close the gap. They are looking at it, but it doesn't look like enough room to get a rock through from here. The thinning off on the yellow looks really tough to get underneath the red on either side. So I think she's looking at the long run in. Doesn't have to whip it here. It's all about hitting it right. She's got to hold both red stones if she makes the shot. Doesn't have a lot of ice though. So looking to hit the long red guard onto the second shot stone at the top of the 8-foot. Have it come back and remove shot stone on the corner of the 4-foot, and she'd like both reds to stick around. And really, I think this is probably a shot where you need this just to keep playing. 8 end games here. This is the final stone of the 7th end. Rushers indicate this might be a little stronger than they wanted. She's close on the line. Might be a little thin. Yeah, they needed that to curl a little bit more. It's going to be another steal of 1 for Kaitlyn Laws. She stole 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd. She stole another one here in the 7th. And the gloves come off. That'll be handshakes. Put that in the books as a final. Kaitlyn Laws winning her first game here. Serena Grey-Withers falling in her opening game. Round robin play here in the Saville Shootout, so they'll both be back on the ice later on today. We'll have all the action for you here all weekend from the Saville Center in Edmonton. Just to let you know, you can wander on over to our YouTube channel or find them on curlingzone.com. Other games are still in action. Mila Plett 6-2 right now over Corinne Brown. Carrie Anderson has a 6-5 lead over Gracelyn Richards. Selena Sturmey trailing Taylor Reese Hansen at 6-2 there as they play in the 7th end. And Tabitha Peterson out of St. Paul leading Michelle Englot out of Regina 4-2 in that game in the 8th end. Stay with us all weekend long for all the action. Men's action will be starting at 11 o'clock local time.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.